Okay, so we're going to do the in-house program because we need training with housebreaking, especially on carpets, so soft materials, anything soft, pillows, sofas, carpets he will pee on. We also want him to be comfortable in a space to make him comfortable to not be in the center of the action, so be comfortable being in a corner of a room when we're somewhere else without incessant barking. So he needs to be generally just calmer with less barking and
when we walk him, he doesn't jump on everybody and us.
Yeah.
Obeys us more. When we tell him to come, it's very important that he comes. It would be great for him not to follow us on a leash would be nice. Barking, he barks all the time, and it would, we're just moving, so it's very important to try to get him to calm down and not be so nervous when we leave. Or, if he knows a dog lives 2 doors down, that he's not going to sit there and bark until he gets to go. He's trying to dominate us, I feel. So it'd be nice for him to just relax when we're with him.
Okay, sit. You only say the command once, and stay is built into sit, so when you say it, and you step away or walk around him or whatever you're going to do, you should stay there. And if he does it successfully, like you see him doing here, you always reward him after you go back next to him. Have eye contact, do it exactly the way I'm doing it, look straight down. Good. As he's literally looking in my eyes, and that's why most of the time he's staring at me, because of the way I do the training makes the dog always want to have eye contact. So you don't have to have a command that says, look or watch me or whatever. You train him in a way that he just naturally always wants to stare at you. So that's the way it looks if it's a success. Go. So I just released him by patting his chest and saying go. That's the release out of a sit. If you just want to release him to be on free time. Come. As you can see, he'll respond to that command. But I always practice calling him to come to me away from something. Come, like that. I back away. Good. With my right hand has a treat. As a reward, the left hand grabs a collar or leash. He's on a leash now. So that he doesn't get used to grabbing the treat and then taking off. Okay. So always do that. And then you're set up to do your little left circle. Sit. Here we are. Let us sit again. If he breaks out of a sit before you release him, so let's pretend, I'm going to release him. Go. Let's pretend he broke out of the sit. You say no. You step into him use your body like this. You literally are hurting him. Put him back. See, it's not popping, jerking, trying and then giving up and trying and giving up. No, it's just tension, some gentle but firm tension. His butt hits the ground, then you release it. And then you go back to where you were and finish the sit stay. He only waits until you come back next to him. Eye contact. Good. Now you saw me do the release of how to be free, just free, but this is how you would release him actually to walk with you. He's still on the clock though. Okay. And then he walks with you. Ready? Okay. Down. And I did this with my foot just because I think that sometimes with you, he won't do it right away. And if we want him to get to the point where he does it as you say the command, like instantaneously, and he's not doing it yet, the wrong way to do it is to say the command, he ignores you, and then you do your left foot to force him down or whatever, because you could get stuck in that pattern really easily. So if we have a dog that's not quite there where he just drops when you say it, everything's done simultaneously. Obviously you're holding the leash. No. He gets up before you release him. I was going to show you that anyway. You say no and just put him back like that. But when you're holding the leash like this, the way I usually hold it over my thumb, I take up the slack with my right hand, comes out the back of my hand with my left hand like this. So it's just like that when you're walking him. It's so easy when you're going to do the down to just go like this and down. Say the word as you do the action. They're tied together. And then very quickly, okay. Down. You have that. But just in case you guys aren't having that yet, like I have it here, which would be common. Good. Do it that way for a while if you're having that happen still. When you're rewarding him in a down, you place the reward on the ground. No, don't let him touch your hand. Good. You're after that 2 seconds of like time stands still, like everybody's focused and waiting for their turn. So you're like, he's waiting, he knows the rules of the game. Good. Is that he takes it when you withdraw. It's very important. The delivery of the reward is super important. No, he gets up before you release him. That time it was easy because he just kind of stayed straight, but he just stood up. So I just stood on the leash, I said no, and he went back. Stay is built into down as it is in sit. You don't even say stay. So you can do all kinds of things. And of course this is a fenced yard, so if I want to drop the leash and walk away, you should probably come the way you always come, which is through the other way. Hold on. Good. You can walk farther away. You can go through, you want to shoot me doing this? You can do things that would trigger most dogs to pop up. I'm even going to go outside, like this. Doing a video right now. See how he stayed? It's a pretty good downstay. Went all the way outside, went through 2 gates, disappeared out on the street, coming back to him, reward. Good. You see how calm he is when he's training? You do training this way, and every time you release him, he's a little bit calmer. He's just naturally a super hyper energetic dog, very smart, very was pretty out of control when he came to me. So it's been a short time and he's calmed down a lot. And if you keep doing it this way in different circumstances, like now we're in a yard, you can do it. I showed you at your house how to do it on the inside of your front door. The downstay is a downstay wherever you do it. At this point with him, he's pretty much there if he's handled the right way. And you can practice with all these different distractions. Okay, you pat your leg and say okay, you say sit. He kind of jumped the gun there when I said okay, so make sure he really waits until you say okay, until he stands up. But we're going to leave that, but I just want to let you know I did see that. You have him sit with your right hand, you pat his chest and say go, and he's free. Another issue that I know that you were having is pulling on the leash, with him pulling on the leash. So the key is to always keep that leash loose. So if you go out, if you start the walk like we have, and like we have at your place where he stops and waits at all the boundaries, and then at the very bottom of the stairway at your place, you release him to be free to pee and sniff and whatever he's going to do, you'll see he's a lot calmer. He's not going to pull as much, but when he does, he will pull some. Make sure that you're tapping. So if he goes ahead, pulls ahead, just stay. Don't let him pull you around. Just tap like that. Say he goes to, let's say he goes to the end of the leash. He's going that way. Tap it and do this, and stand still, and he'll stop. And if it's really bad, come. Call him to come a few times. Good. When you're drawing him back to you, then he's going to go out to where he was before, right? Come. Just do that 5 or 6 times in a row as you walk down your sidewalk. Come. Good, that was 3 times. Always bring your high value rewards outside, of course. Come. Good. This is also, by the way, what you're doing when you encounter kids or distractions out in your courtyard on the street where he barks at people, and you know the situations that he's going to bark. If you see the people are out there, before he even barks, you call him back to you. Don't wait for him to bark, because it's still going to be better than nothing, but if you catch him actually before he barks, then the barking over time goes away, because now he's like, oh, they're out there, go check in with mom, get paid, instead of barking. So you want to catch him as the trainer, which I'm kind of explaining how to be the trainer. You want to catch him right before the inappropriate response kicks in, because you're plugging in the appropriate response, so much more desirable than what you had before. Instead of barking and causing a scene, he sees them, he turns his back on them, moves away from them, comes to you, you pay him, you love him up, tell him how good he is, and that soon becomes the new pattern instead of what he was doing before, and the barking goes away without ever correcting him. You're basically plugging in the appropriate response to that situation instead of having to say no, Fred, and leave it and off, and whatever else people would say. So that's what you want to do in that situation. But keep that leash loose. You got that little prong collar on there. Just tap it and he'll slow down. If you're having a particularly difficult day, it's come. Call him back to come multiple times and he just stops pulling. You'll see how that works.